Hello. Oh my gosh, why are my emotes back on? I took them all off after I typed stuff and now they're back. Okay, never mind. They're gone now. I don't know why I have such a problem with them. I think I need to add a barrier for myself or something. Like I need to add shifts in there to be able to unlock my emotes. Right now they're just numbers, but clearly that doesn't work very well. Anyway, welcome to the stream today. It's been a while again. I'm at a weird part in my life where I feel stressed for no reason. So, apologies for not being on very often, but I'm on today, and I'll be hopefully on tomorrow. So, I am also going to move this over, because I don't want this to be taking up a big spot. Yeah, okay, that looks better. Today we are doing some tier lists on Hazbin Hotel, which is one of my favorite shows. I definitely have others that I've been invested in just as much, but right now this one is like actually like ongoing and stuff, so I felt like it was appropriate for me to have an indulgent stream where I just yap about it. I'm just doing this for fun, so please don't come at me for my opinions if you don't like them. I'm happy to listen to other opinions, but don't dogpile on me, please. Fandom spaces are scary. I haven't been in a fandom space in a long time. And you might also notice that I don't have a BGM today. That's because number one, I don't have earbuds, so it would be coming out of my speakers twice, and that would be really weird. And number two, I just didn't find one before we started that would fit. So when I make this into a video instead of a stream, I'll add music in so it's not as awkward, but we're just gonna be yapping today. No music. I am going to, I think, put text up for like what tier list it is. So we're starting off with redemption. I'm gonna change this color. Xavier had it on green. There. Redemption. So we're gonna be talking about whether or not I feel like these characters should be redeemed or not. Basically, is what we're doing. So I have 5 categories here. Can you see my... I don't think you can see my mouse. I'll put my mouse in just so that you can... see what I'm talking about. Okay, we have 5 categories here. So we have characters that are already in heaven and that I think should stay in heaven. I have characters that are in heaven but shouldn't be. I think they should... I think they should be bumped down. I think they should be bumped down to hell. I have deserving of redemption. Those are like characters that are already in hell, but I think they should be redeemed. Maybe with a lot of work is like, maybe, possibly. I think I'm gonna add one though, for in between the heaven ones, because I feel like there's characters that kind of are like in between. Just let me, I guess I gotta start with this, yeah. Okay, and then add a row below, and this one will be blue. I'll have to change my colors, but that's okay. It won't take long. In heaven, but should work on themselves. In heaven, but should work on themselves. And then we'll do green, and then yellow, and then orange, and then red. So these are just my opinions, obviously. I don't know where the show's going. I don't know if the thing will change or what. This is just after season 2 opinions. So that's where we will be going from there. So first we have Abel, and I think Abel is kind of obviously in heaven to stay. He hasn't really done anything bad. I mean, he's a little bit of a coward, but I don't think that makes you like really needing to like work on yourself hard, you know? I feel like he he could use, everyone can probably use some improvement in general, but he's pretty good. Adam is technically dead now, but I'm gonna put him in heaven shouldn't be, because he should not have been in heaven. He was a terrible person. He went and he slaughtered a bunch of souls, basically, because he thought it was fun. And he was self-righteous. He doesn't really... Some of them, at least, in heaven, like Sarah, for example, were doing it because they felt like they didn't have another choice. They felt like it was the right thing to do, which doesn't excuse their behavior, but I feel like Adam's is especially bad. Like, dude was taking pleasure in murdering those people. He taunted people about how he was going to come down with his army and murder them. So I think he should stay there. He might be the only one that stays there, actually. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Alistair, this is gonna be he kind of bounces in between these for me. But I think for now, from what we've seen, he's gonna go in the low end of irredeemable. Alistair is very sociopathic and doesn't care about others, and so I can't see him really changing his violence and his cruelty. He seems nice to some people, but I think it's been shown in the show enough that that's kind of a big front for him. He kind of is only nice to people if he's getting something from them. So I think he stays in irredeemable for now. But I can see things changing with Al. I can see in, like, future seasons, if he gets some more development, I can see him moving up towards, like, maybe with a lot of work. All of these characters are in hell for a reason, so I feel like some of them can, like, they're gonna have bad crimes. I'm not saying that even the ones that are, like, deserving of redemption, I'm not saying that their crimes were not bad, just to be clear. But after centuries of life in hell, you know, I think some people may deserve a second chance. Hope you're doing... Thank you, Hazel. I will look at my Twitter later. If you don't mind. But, I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. Alright, we are now on Angel Dust, and I think Angel Dust is probably one of the ones that is the most deserving of redemption right now. It's very heavily implied that he... Well, we got the reveal, obviously, that he killed his dad. We don't know how, we don't know why, but I feel like it was implied that there was possibly some kind of abuse, some kind of turmoil. With his lore, he was in, like, the mafia and stuff, so I can definitely see that being part of it. But overall, he seems like a pretty good person who just fell down a really bad path. He kind of got the shit end in life, so to speak. He was born into a mafia family, and then he fell to drugs and died. And then now that he's in hell, he really hasn't done anything... We haven't really seen him do anything to, like, seriously hurt anyone, unless it was, like, in defense of his friends. So, I feel like he's definitely deserving of redemption right now. Baxter. We don't really know much about Baxter. We don't know, like, what he has done. We know he's a mad scientist. We know he's worked with Pentious on experiments and things like that. But we don't really know things that he has done. As far as, like, why he's in hell, or what bad things he might have accomplished with his mad sciencery. So, I'm thinking maybe we just put him in, maybe with a lot of work, because I don't really know what's wrong with him. I don't know what his deal is. Some of these characters I won't be able to really place, because, like, this guy, he's just like a cameraman. I don't know what he's done at all. I hardly even recognize him. I think he might have been, like, a news reporter. He was either a news reporter or he was, like, a cameraman for Val. So, I don't know. This is the killed my wife guy. he seemed to have regrets, at least. We don't really know his circumstances, other than he killed his wife, and he now maybe regrets it, and is looking for whether or not he made a bad decision. So maybe on, like, the low end of maybe with a lot of work. Tree Girl, again, we don't really know anything about her. We don't know what she's done, so I'm just gonna keep her down here. Carmilla. Carmilla's a weird case, because she seems to have a fairly decent heart. You know, she protects her daughters, she protects her family, which is good. At the end of the seasons and stuff, she's helped save people. She stands by her friends, she's pretty loyal. She's also an arms dealer, and she deals weapons that can murder people permanently. She sells weapons that can literally destroy people's souls. So I'm not really sure how I feel about her. Maybe the top end of maybe with a lot of work. I feel like she needs to reflect on the damage she's caused, because she hasn't technically, from what we know, hasn't caused, like, mass destruction on her own. Like, we don't know if she's used the angelic weapons other than when she was, like, defending herself and her family. But she has supplied people with those means. So I feel like the top of maybe with a lot of work is good for her. Charlie, I feel like, well, she's hellborn, so she can't be redeemed, but I think if she was a sinner, she would be deserving of redemption. I think she should be able to go back and forth between heaven and hell. She's never really done anything, like, seriously bad. She just has character flaws. She has normal character flaws and normal character conflicts. She's not like a person that's done something to actually get into hell or anything. Cherry Bomb is kind of similar to Carmilla, but I'm gonna put her lower than her. Just because she is another character who's very loyal to her friends, that, like, sticks up for what she thinks is right. But she was also involved in a lot of the turf wars and things like that, so, well, but I don't think Cherry ever used angelic weapons, did she? Her MO is, like, the bombs and stuff, and sinners can be, like, regenerated from those. Maybe she's actually higher than Carmilla. Because she hasn't slaughtered any souls permanently from what we know. I think I'm happy with her being there. She might even be more up here. But I'm gonna warily keep her there for now. We'll see. If we have, like, a ton here, I might bump her up. Camilla's daughters, we don't know what they've done. Presumably they do the same things that their mother does, so I'm just gonna put them right under her because they are younger. They're probably influenced by their mom, so we'll put them there. The Egg Boys are deserving of redemption. I think they're right under Angel. They were technically created in hell, so I think they count as hellborn. But if they were not hellborn, they should be in heaven with Serpentius. I'm kind of sad that they're not in heaven with Serpentius. I think he should have been able to bring his Egg Boys with him. They're literally just stupid and do whatever he asks them to. I don't think they really have very much agency over themselves. Emily, obviously in heaven to say, I'd say she's better than Abel. I think she has a much purer heart. She fought for the sinners and stuff, even though she had the threat of heaven looming over her. Fat Nuggets, obviously deserving of redemption. He goes to the front. We love Fat Nuggets. He's just a little baby pig. He comforts Angel when he's sad. He's just a baby. So yes, he is definitely one that's deserving of redemption. Husk, I feel like, is also deserving of redemption. We don't necessarily know everything that he's done, we haven't gotten much of a backstory on him yet. We know he was an overlord. So, just from that, I want to put him at the low end. For the most part, he does seem to have a better moral compass, at least now that he's not an overlord, now that he's more of like an ex-overlord. I think possibly because he realized what it's like to have like your soul under someone else, because he used to have them and like gamble with them and stuff, which is obviously very bad. But I feel like he's moved on a little from that. I feel like he's more empathetic of other people now. Jack the Ripper is obviously irredeemable. It's Jack the Ripper. I don't really know why he's on this tier list. He's such a minor character compared to the rest of these guys. But yeah, Jack the Ripper is obviously irredeemable. We've seen literally nothing, no reason why he could possibly be redeemable in universe, and he's also a real life criminal. So I feel like we should definitely keep him there. Feels a little different than rating a purely fictional character. Kiki is obviously redeemable too. I'm putting her underneath Charlie just because Charlie has like really good moral standing, and we really don't know anything about Kiki other than she's Charlie's cat. But I feel like all animals should go to heaven, so Kiki goes there too. Lilith. Now, we don't know anything about Lilith. There's a lot of theories about Lilith, and I have a lot of feelings about how I feel like Lilith's gonna be, but we don't actually have much canon information on her. We do know that she kind of sucks towards her family. She abandoned them to go to heaven and didn't talk to them for 7 years after the extermination started. So I'm inclined to put her on this tier somewhere. We don't fully know what she's done, so maybe just right smack dab in the middle. Lucifer. Well, this is probably going to be, this will probably make some people mad, but I'm putting him on the very low end on maybe with a lot of work. Lucifer's not that good of a person. Well, hold on. Maybe right above the killed my wife guy. Because Lucifer is turning around to be a decent dad. He's helping his daughter. That's a good quality. And technically we don't really know what his like rebellion against heaven was, if it was really that bad or not. But he really did not care that there was a genocide going on with his own people. He really does not respect the sinners at all. And I think he makes that, like, exceedingly clear. The only reason that he's really helping is because his daughter cares about helping. And so he's like, okay, I'll do it for my daughter, but I feel like he could not care less about sinners, so he's going down there. Mimsy, oh wait, no, we're on Loot. Loot, I feel like, is right above Adam in heaven, but shouldn't be. Because she... Oh, wait, no. Below Adam. Yeah, because this is the most... Wait. Hold on, I'm confusing myself about my order here. So this is the one that... The left is more deserving of redemption, I think. Right? Yeah. So, she should go above. She should go in front of Adam. Sorry, I got turned around a little there. Loot is slightly better than Adam just because she has been conditioned and created to be an exorcist. So she technically doesn't have any other way of thinking. And I think she also made it pretty clear when she was talking that she sees it more from a moral standpoint than Adam does. Loot is very much under the impression that the sinners are, like, irredeemable people who are threats to heaven, so they should just be vanquished. I don't agree with her, obviously. But I think she at least has reasons that aren't, I enjoy tormenting people. And she's also been conditioned into it, so I think she goes there. Mimsy, we don't know anything about her backstory other than she was friends with Alistair in real life. We don't really know what she did to get into hell or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna put her, like, right above Lilith. I don't know. I don't really know what she's in here for. Maybe I should put her next to Baxter. We'll put her next to Baxter, because I don't really know what's going on with either of those two. Okay, Nifty. I do really love Nifty, but I feel like she's definitely gotta go on the low end of maybe with a lot of work. I do think she has some mental illness that's screwing with her head a little, and I definitely agree with the headcanon of her, like, murdering an abusive husband, potentially. That's just my personal headcanon with her. That's not, like, shown in the show yet. And she does, she really enjoys stabbing people and hurting people. So I feel like maybe there. Maybe she should go in front of Al on Irredeemable. No, that feels too harsh for Nifty. We're gonna put her right there. The Kill My Wife guy had some remorse, so I'm gonna put her below him, because she does not seem to have remorse for things. But I also think part of it is her mental illness, and I feel like we can't completely shut that down. Now, these overlords, we don't know what they did at all. Prick and Hatchet, we kind of do, and I think they would go more towards this end of Irredeemable. They like have gang fights and stuff, and they were excited about getting the angelic weapons to murder a bunch of people. They're very violent individuals, but that's kind of all we know about them. We don't know how they got like that. We don't know, like, what they actually partake in. So I feel like towards the top of Irredeemable, they at least helped save hell. I guess. St. Peter deserves to be in heaven. He hasn't done anything egregious either. At least from what we've seen. He's just heaven's gatekeeper. He's just a cheery guy. He didn't even have a hand in, like, any of the decision-making stuff. Razzle and Dazzle, obviously, should go towards deserving of redemption. I think I'm gonna put them in front of Fat Nuggets, just because one of them did literally sacrifice themselves for their owner, which is sad. And they've been seen protecting Charlie and stuff, so I think they should go towards the front end of that. Rosie, I'm gonna say, is irredeemable. She still cannibalizes people and seems pretty happy about it. She's more than willing to own people's souls. I do think she goes in front of these guys. From what we've seen, she isn't that terrible of a overlord, because some of the overlords are extremely terrible towards their people. She kind of just told Alistair, hey, knock it off and stop acting like you're more powerful than me. She didn't really, like, she really could have done terrible things to him there, but she didn't. And she protects Cannibal Town, so I'm thinking top end of Irredeemable, since she does still actively cannibalize and protect cannibalism, which is not good. Sarah is in heaven but should work on herself. She allowed the genocides, but we have seen her turn around a lot. She's extremely remorseful for it. She's very much, like, trying to atone for what she did. She has nightmares and, like, PTSD from it, it seems like, but I still think she needs to do some more work on herself. She needs to work towards actually doing something to make things right, more than just expressing remorse, if that makes sense. Punches, I don't know why he looks so evil in this picture. I didn't pick these pictures. This is just an open tier list. But he's in heaven, and I think he should stay in heaven. I think he goes right below able, because he did do bad things in his past life, but he has clearly helped make up for them. And he really didn't do that bad of things. I feel like his turf wars in in hell were worse than what he did, like, in real life. The Speaker of God honestly goes above Emily for me. The Speaker of God is extremely forgiving and a little bit passive towards bad things, but that made me rethink a little bit as I was saying it, because she was kind of passive towards bad things happening, wasn't she? Maybe Emily should go above her. I like that she's like an all-forgiving being that clearly expresses like love towards humanity and angels and all that good stuff. But I feel like Emily spoke out when she should have spoken out, and the Speaker we literally didn't even see pop in until season 2. Why didn't she intervene then? So yeah, maybe Emily goes towards the top there. Susan goes right under Rosie, I think. Susan's cranky and mean, and she really only cares about eating people. But I think she goes above these two because they're overlords, and to be an overlord, you have to be a pretty bad person to begin with. You know what? While we're at it, why don't we add these guys too? We don't know what Maestro or Zizi did, but I think they are probably better people than Al, just from what we've seen. And we haven't seen them do anything as egregious as wanting to use angelic blades to murder a bunch of people, so I think maybe they go right under here. Oh wait, no, they would go above. They'd go above. Yeah, okay. We have Katie Killjoy. She definitely goes somewhere on irredeemable. I'd say she's probably better than the Overlords. But then you also have to question, would they do worse if they had more power as well? Because the Overlords have the chance to do a lot of evil because of their power statuses. And I don't know how that factors in. For the others. I'm editing my transformation real quick to cover up more of that ad. I didn't realize it was peeking through there. Okay. There we go. Knock that off my screen. Common Trench, I feel like, is probably easier to say, maybe with a lot of work. Obviously he goes into the new stuff, but he kind of just is very passive. Doesn't really seem like that bad of a guy, at least from what we've seen. I'm gonna put him right there. He's kind of just run-of-the-mill, maybe redeemable with a lot of work. I feel like he must have been in, like, a war or something at some point. There's gotta be a reason he has a gas mask on, right? Now, back to Katie Killjoy. She's definitely irredeemable. She's definitely not a good person. But we don't know her, like, super deep morals. Like, would she slaughter and cannibalize a bunch of people if she had the chance? I mean, she certainly exploits the media. I think I'm gonna put her, like, right... Maybe right here. I don't know, but we don't know what these guys have done either. So maybe I'll just keep her here for safety's sake. Rooster's deserving of redemption. We don't know what Rooster did, but was making a genuine effort to try and redeem himself. He clearly wants to get better. But we don't know what his deal is, so I don't want to put him higher up on the list and then them end up being like, actually, Rooster was like cannibalizing children and murdering people. I'm sure he did something bad, but we don't know what Rooster did, so I'm just going to keep him on the low end, deserving of redemption. He's at least trying. Travis is the writer for Valentino, so automatically he goes somewhere under irredeemable. I do think he's probably better than the Overlords. Just because, again, he doesn't have the Overlord power. Obviously he agrees with, like, what Val does, which is not good. He does only write scripts, though, it seems like. So it's not like he's, like, actively exploiting people himself. He's just, like, contributing to it. So I'm thinking right here would be a good spot for him in Irredeemable. I don't know if this guy's an Overlord or not. I'm thinking he must be, but Vox never went and talked to him. But he was very much, like, talking to ZZ. Maybe it's just, like, one of ZZ's friends? I don't know. I know nothing about this guy. This is the Fame girl. We don't know what she did in her past life at all. We know she wants fame, but she was very much torn down, so that makes me feel a little bad for her. But we also, like, don't really know any info of, like, where her morals lie or anything. So I think I'm just not going to place her, even though we did see her more than some of these other three. Ethan, I feel like, could be deserving of redemption pretty easily. But he does work for Vox Tech. So I feel like right here, maybe. He works for Vox Tech, which obviously exploits lots of people and things like that. However, Carmilla, I feel like her angelic weapons are worse. I don't know. Like, because he's not one of the people in power, really, in Vox Tech. So that makes him a little bit different than, like, the V's, who are obviously going to be down further than Carmilla. But I feel like as far as Ethan goes, he's probably a little higher than Carmilla on my list anyway. He seems like he's just kind of a pushover who just does things because he's told to, which doesn't make him a good person, obviously. That's why he's under maybe a lot of work, but then again, these guys did actively do things to help. Well, at least Carmilla did. We don't see that with her daughters, but I think I wanted her daughters to be more redeemable. Let's put Ethan there. I feel like that's a decent place. Man, now I'm second guessing myself. Should Carmilla? She's done a lot to save people, despite her angelic weapons. So that makes her a little bit harder to place. And then, are her daughters better or worse? Because technically they were roped into what their mom did, but they also haven't really made up for it. Like, we haven't seen them trying to do anything. I think probably from a moral standpoint, Carmilla's a little higher. Maybe. But then I don't know where to put Ethan still. I I know he's more redeemable of Lilith. I just don't know if I would put him above Carmilla and them or not. Maybe below. I think I'm going to keep him at below. Vaggie's obviously deserving of redemption. She was part of the Exorcists, so I do think we need to take that into account when placing her here. But she clearly turned around. She let people go even though it was explicitly against her duty and it made her fall. And now she's doing her best to save people. So I feel like right below Charlie would be good. We don't know how many people she killed though. So like she might go a little lower, but I feel like since she doesn't have like an explicit kill count, I don't think. But Adam did say she was one of his best. Maybe right below Angel. Maybe right below Angel, because I feel like we can't discount her exorcist days even though they're behind her. She did slaughter a lot of souls. Then there's also the question of did she think she was doing the right thing at the time, which would like put her more along the lines of like Sarah. We'll keep her by Charlie. I like them together anyway. I like them sitting together. Then we have Velvet. Velvet's obviously irredeemable. She's towards the lower end. I do think she's better than Alistair. We don't know her backstory yet, so that might change. Especially in the coming seasons, because I know she has one that's supposed to focus on her, but she's a terrible person. She works with the V's. She's best friends with Valentino and Vox, who are, like, arguably some of the worst people in the show. But I still feel like she's better than Alistair, who was a serial killer cannibal who literally made a deal so that he could continue being a serial killer cannibal in hell. Valentino is hard, but obviously he's less redeemable than Velvet. We don't know what he did on Earth to get to hell. We can obviously kind of guess. I think from the fact that his crimes really can't be ever justified, whereas Al, we don't know all of his motivations. I feel like we can probably put him there. I'm keeping Jack the Ripper at the lowest. I know Jack the Ripper's crimes probably are not as severe as some of these guys, but Jack the Ripper was a real person. So, we're keeping Jack the Ripper at the bottom. I hope that guy stays in hell. Wherever in hell he is, if hell is real. Zestial. We don't know what happened with Zestial. I do feel like he's probably somewhere up here. We know he's an overlord and that he's been an overlord for a very long time, which means he's probably done some pretty messed up stuff. But we also see him acting as a sort of moral compass for Carmilla. So I feel like he might go somewhere in the middle here, maybe right here, above or right below Lilith, because we see that he hasn't turned a blind eye so far, and we can't really judge what he's done because we don't have his backstory. Vox is going to be a very difficult one for me to place. If you had young Vox, like boxy TV head Vox on here, it would probably be different for me than who Vox is now. I think Vox could potentially eventually get redeemed, which I think is kind of controversial. But I feel like a lot of his dark past comes from trauma. But right now, is he redeemable? No. And do I see him wanting to redeem himself is another question. Right now, no. Could that change in close seasons? Yes. I think for now, I would put him right below Velvet. He was very much willing to let all of hell explode for his own whims. Which, like, as much as you can sympathize with his feelings of rejection or whatever, that doesn't mean that excuses him literally being willing to blow up half of hell just because he's mad at Alistair. I still think in real life, though, like on Earth life, he was better than Alistair was. Alistair was out there murdering a bunch of people in the swamps, and Vox, like, I mean, he was also a serial killer, I guess, wasn't he? He was also a serial killer. But he wasn't necessarily doing it for, like, killing pleasure. His motivations were at least slightly better than just, I want to kill people, because I think killing's fun. Not that his motivations were good. His motivations were very obviously not. He just wanted power, but I feel like wanting power is a little bit better than genuinely just taking pleasure in murdering a bunch of people. So this is how they are right now. This is my redemption tier list. Should I take a picture? I guess I can take one off of the stream later. So now I gotta move all these guys back down again, because we're gonna do another tier list, but it's gonna be different this time. I have two tier list ideas left, and we're gonna do both of them because we have enough time. Sorry about all my clicking. I click spam. Probably could have muted while I did that, but oh well. Okay. Now we're doing it based on characters that I like. These are much more opinion based than the last one, because the last one I was trying to think a little critically. Favorites to hate, which will be, that's gonna be like villains, because I want to make it clear that there's a difference between I really like this guy as a villain versus I really like this guy as a character, you know. This one can be good. Oh, I accidentally went to cap looks. Good characters. They're alright. I don't know. Who's this guy? Okay. Well, hold on. Let me add one. But I don't know down here. This will be for characters that, like, I literally don't have an opinion on. And this one will be, like, don't like them very much. And this is completely based off of my opinions. So it really has nothing to do with it doesn't have to deal with, like, how good I think they're written or anything like that. It's literally just what I like about them. So, or how much I like them, I should say. Favorites and dislikes, I guess. And these opinions are very different throughout the system as well. Some of us have other favorite characters and stuff, obviously. Like, spoiler for later, but I kind of just think Charlie is a little meh as a character. She's okay. I don't dislike her, but I don't have, like, strong feelings about Charlie as a character, whereas she's literally, like, one of Gabby's favorite characters ever, so there are very much differing opinions within the system. Okay. Speaker of God. I really like this character, but I wouldn't say she's one of my favorites. I think she's a good character. Like I said, I like the forgiving thing, but I do have, like, some reservations about her morals and things like that. But I like the idea of a soothing character that just, like, accepts you for who you are. Not me being like, religion would be so cool if I believed in it. Anyway, Carmilla's alright. I like Carmilla. She's not my favorite. She's not amazing to me, but she's alright. I don't like Susan. Susan annoys me. I think Susan is an old biddy, and she's like those old ladies that are mean to people for no reason. So, she goes there. Rosie, I like Rosie. I think she probably goes right under the speaker. She's a really fun character. I really love her whole aesthetic and vibe. I think she's a really fun one to look at. Like, just this presumably nice, sweet woman who's always there to lend a hand, but she's actually, like, a cannibal murderer. Zizi, don't really get much about her. I like her design, but from what I've seen of her, I'm not a big fan. She's really gossipy, and I tend not to like characters that are like that. And I'm really not I'm not gonna get into the whole thing about the Alistair cuck chair thing. But I don't like that was humorous in the show, and she jokes about it, so. Carmilla's daughters, they're alright. I probably like them less than Carmilla just because they get less screen time. I'm trying to find where the other one is at on here. Where is she? There she is. I like their designs a little more than Carmilla, but we see them a lot less than her, so we'll keep them there. Travis, I don't like Travis. He is kind of funny, but he's mostly just funny in the pilot. After the pilot's over, he's not really funny anymore to me. He's just kind of a shitty person. So I'm gonna keep him under. I hate this guy. Katie Killjoy, definitely don't like her. Do I hate her less than Susan? Probably not. I really don't like Katie. I think she's done wonderfully as a character. You're definitely supposed to hate her, but I don't really even like her as a villain. Ethan, I really like. I like Ethan a lot. I like his design, and I think he's a cute, nerdy kind of character. Probably right above Rosie, despite him not getting much screen time. He also writes, if you sign up for the Hazbin Hotel emails, he writes to you and stuff. So we've gotten a little bit more content with him. Celestial, I like. Probably just a step above Carmilla to me. I think these, like, older eldritch, like, characters just tend to fascinate me in general, but we also haven't gotten much of Zestial, and he's kind of been a little bit boring, in my opinion, so I'll put him above Carmilla, but I need a little more from him to make me like him more. Velvet, she's not really a favorite for me to hate, but I definitely don't, like, dislike her character. I think her character is really cool. I think they developed her powers really well. Her powers and Husk's powers, I think, are extremely interesting to me from, like, a character building standpoint. Maybe I'll put her in favorites to hate. Why not? I killed my wife. The I killed my wife guy. Definitely not one of my favorites. That I do think he did make me laugh a lot when he was on screen. So I think I'll put him in good characters. Jack the Ripper. Hate that guy. He's literally Jack the Ripper. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're going through my favorites and my dislikes right now. Loot. I definitely hate Loot. She's not really on the favorites to hate one. I don't really enjoy her screen time. And again, I'm not saying that I think any of these characters are badly written or that I dislike that they're on the show. I want to make that clear. This is just like, it's not that I don't want them to be included in the show. It's that I'm like, ugh, this person again, you know? So, Loot probably goes right behind Travis. Under hate this guy. Vox is a favorite to hate. I do really enjoy Vox on screen. I'm glad that they focused a little bit more on him, but he is a villain. Like, he's not like one of the characters that I'm like, oh, little baby, because he's literally a horrible person. So he's on my favorites to hate list. Valentina is also on my favorites to hate list. I just like the V's. I like their dynamic. I like them as terrible villain characters. I think they're really well written as villains. A lot of people disagree with that, but I think maybe not necessarily Velvet, because we haven't gotten enough of her, I don't think. But I feel like Val and Vox are written very, like, realistically for abusive characters. I don't want to get, like, too deep into it, because I don't want to, like, talk about super triggering stuff on stream or anything, but I think Val's ability to switch back and forth is really important to show, and the fact that Vox is a hurt person with motivations is also very important. Villains should not just be, unless you're, like, writing for, like, a kid's book or something, like a Disney villain, villains should be a lot more multifaceted, and I think they do a good job of that. I think I like Val as a villain a little bit more than Velvet, though, just because we've gotten more of him, probably. I want more of my girl. I want to see more of her. I love her powers and stuff, but we really only got to see her in battle most of the time. Cherry Bomb's alright. I don't dislike Cherry Bomb. She just doesn't do much for me. So maybe, let's see, where should we put Cherry? I don't know if she should be above Carmilla or not. I guess I'm going to put her above Carmilla for now. I don't know if my opinion's going to change throughout this or not. Rooster, I just don't really have an opinion on him. I guess he's alright. I didn't mind him being included. I thought his therapy scenes were cute. He seems like a nice character. We just haven't gotten much of him yet. And we probably won't get much of him. He's kind of just an extra character, but Husk definitely goes under good characters for me. I do like Husk. I find the killed my wife guy really funny. I think Husk might go right below him. Kind of bounces in between for me. There's things that I like about Husk, but there's also things that, like, I'm just kind of meh on with him. I mostly like his interactions with Angel and his fight scenes. Angel is my favorite. Angel's my favorite character out of the entire show. I love Angel. And he's definitely not a villain, so he goes into just the normal favorites category. He might be the only one in there, but we'll see. Vaggie. Vaggie's alright. I'm not a big fan of Vaggie, though. She's kind of just there for me. I don't know. I don't know if this is... I'm thinking this is Hatchet and this is Prick, because I think Prick looks like a cactus. I actually do really like them as characters. I think Hatchet's design is really cool and specific. So I wouldn't say he's my favorite, though. He's not like one of the characters that I'm like, oh, I really like this guy. Maybe right there. No. Probably less than those two. And Prick doesn't do the same thing for me. He's alright, but he's gonna go with the low end. The Egg Boys, I do like the Egg Boys. I think they're very silly. I want to protect the Egg Boys from being cracked. I'm gonna put them right below Husk. Kiki, obviously, I love. I don't get to see much of Kiki, though. I mean, she's just a cat that kind of shows up, but I do love animal characters, so maybe just at the bottom tier of that one. Fat Nuggets we see a lot more of. Fat Nuggets, I probably like more than the Speaker of God. Fat Nuggets is really cute, and he's Angel's baby, so, like, I feel like, obviously, they're kind of up there together, you know? Maestro I like the design of, but other than that, we don't really get much about him. Probably right above Prick. Lilith? I don't like Lilith. I can see my opinions changing, but right now, I'm not a big fan. Mimsy is just more of like a, I don't really like her. I do like her more than ZZ, I think. Just because she has more characterization that makes me like her. She doesn't seem like an awful person, but I don't know. She felt a little thrown in there or something, which I know was, like, supposed to be the gag, but I think she probably goes there. Should Lilith go a little bit above? I kind of really don't like her, though. I think I'm going to keep her there. Just at the top end of Hate This Guy, so that she's not, like, down there with these folk, but Lucifer, I think, is alright. Probably more towards the top. I do really like Lucifer. I don't like his opinions, like we've discussed in the tier list before this one. But I do like Lucifer a lot. I think he's a fun character. You know what? No. I'm gonna put him higher, I think. I do feel like I like Lucifer a little bit more than, like, Husk and stuff. He went up a lot. First I was placing him here. Yeah, I like Lucifer. I like his ducks. And I like that he's a doting father. I tend to have a soft spot for doting father characters. Baxter's fun. Baxter's a fun gremlin kind of guy. Probably right in front of Husk for me. I really love his dynamic with Nifty, especially. Tom Trench is alright. Not one of my favorites, but I feel bad for him. They successfully make me feel bad for Tom Trench. Where should we put him? Maybe just right below Prick. Because he is kind of like a tie-in with Katie Killjoy, which makes me like him less. Charlie's alright. She's probably at the top of alright for me. I'm just not a huge Charlie fan. I don't know why. I think a lot of it stems from season 2. I liked her less in season 2 for sure. Should I put her up a little higher? Maybe I'll put her at the end of good characters. Because I did like her a lot more in season 1, now that I'm thinking about it. Razzle and Dazzle are great. I'm gonna put them right below Fat Nuggets. They're very cute. and they're good little guys. Adam, I hate no, I don't actually hate all the scenes with Adam. Adam, well, maybe the top of I hate this guy. Because I do enjoy a lot of scenes with Adam as a villain. But would I say he's, like, up to favorite level? I guess I'll put him below Velvet. He can be up there. I do like him as a villain, so I feel like it's a little harsh to put him into hate this guy when I don't technically hate his presence. I, like, love to hate his presence. Serpentius is an okay character for me. Again, he just didn't really do much for me. I did feel bad for him a lot. He's a character that, like, I could see wanting to comfort, and I'm, like, more understanding of his stuff. Like, his motivations and everything. Sarah. If you asked me about season 1 Sarah, she would go under hate this guy right above Lilith. Now, though, I do like her a little more. They got me on the liking Sarah a little bit train on season 2. So, maybe somewhere in there alright. Yeah, I feel good about her being right under Vaggie, I think. Abel's another character that's just alright for me. Not a huge fan. I actually like him a little less than Sarah. I find him slightly annoying, which sounds kind of mean, but I don't know. There's just something about him that, like, slightly annoys me or something. Same with St. Peter. St. Peter's a little bit less annoying to me than Abel. But, like, they're alright. Like, I don't dislike them, I just find them very slightly annoying. They're not to the point where I would put them on that tier, but... Nifty is one of my favorites. I feel like the pets need to stay on good characters because we don't really have, like, real characterization of them. Nifty I love. Nifty's so cute. She's in my top 3 for sure. She's in my top 3 for sure. I love her. I love little gremlin characters. Emily's also one of my favorites. Emily's right below Angel for me. Emily's my second favorite in the show. I do have a hard time figuring out which one to place in front, Nifty or Emily, but I think Emily comes a little bit ahead. You know who Emily reminds me a lot of? Emily reminds me of a lot of Mars in my system. Mars doesn't stream a whole lot, but if you watch some older streams of Mars, I feel like you could tell what I'm talking about. Alistair is definitely one of my favorites. Would he go under favorites to hate? Or would he go under, like, the top of good characters? Or would he go under favorites? That's a hard choice to make. I think because I fundamentally disagree with most of his morals, he should go under favorites to hate. Because that's kind of what this category is. It's like, I disagree fundamentally with all of the things that they've done, but I love them as characters. So, I feel like Al should go right there. Look at these guys. I don't really know much about these guys. I do like this girl. I didn't get very much about her, though. Right above. Right above Vaggie. Or right below Vaggie. Right above Sarah. Because I still have some animosity towards Sarah. Same as... I've got some animosity towards these guys, too. Yeah, I really don't know anything about these guys. I know I didn't really like her very much. I liked Mimsy more, for sure. But I didn't really like her. Thought she was kind of odd. This guy, I don't really know, and I don't remember this guy at all. I don't even remember what this guy's from. This guy, I like his design, but I think that's all I can really say. So, oh well. There's my Hazbin favorite characters. I have to go to another tab for the next one. So I think I'm gonna close off on you guys just for a second. Just my window capture, not everything. Oh geez, that looks like blood red. I didn't realize that. The last one that I want to do before I get off here. My voice is going hoarse. I yapped a lot. The last tier list that we're going to do is on the songs. But I have to get a new one up. Okay, let me just type the stuff out real quick. Okay. I think my screen should be cropped fine. No, it's not. Why is it not cropped still? Oh, yes it is. It wasn't cropped on when I was looking at it. I know you can't, like, really, see the names of these too good just because they're so small, but I will read them to make it clear which song we're actually talking about. Alright, so we start with ones from the pilot. There's 4 pilot songs. I'm Always Chasing Rainbows. It's okay. No. I was thinking of Inside Every Demon is a Rainbow. I'm Chasing Rainbows, I think, is the one that starts at the very beginning, where it's like almost... It starts off almost opera-y, I think, if I'm thinking of the right song. So, I could go without that one. It's alright. It was sung. All of these were sung well, and they were written well. It was just my personal taste. Okay. Inside Every Demon is a Rainbow is the one that's okay. I like it. It's fun. It's catchy. Alistair's Reprise I really don't remember. So I think I'm just not going to place that one, because I don't want to be referring to a song that I literally, like, don't even remember, you know? Addict is one of my favorites. It's an Angel song. It's with one of my favorite characters. Obviously, it's going to be towards the top. And it was one of the only songs that we had for a really long time. I was in the early Hazbin fandom. I was in the pilot era stuff. So, Addict holds a strong place in my heart. Happy Day in Hell is alright. I think it'll go in the, probably end up in the low end of I liked this one. Hell is Forever I also really liked. I think I do like it more than Happy Day in Hell, just because I really like the rock, the alternative sound that it brings, that not a whole lot of the other songs have. Stayed Gone is one of my favorites. Probably not more than Addict, but I do really like Stayed Gone. I love that we got, like, early Alistair and Vox arguing and being all fussy with each other. It Starts with Sorry, not really one of my favorites. Probably right here. I like the moral of the song, but that's about it. Respectless is really fun. I probably like it more than a Happy Day in Hell a little bit, because I feel like it gets stuck in my head more, so certainly that has to have something with me liking it, right? Whatever It Takes is okay. Not one of my favorites, but I liked it when it was in there. I just don't really listen to it anymore. I listen to a lot of the soundtracks still. Every time whenever when I drive, like, to and from my college, I listen to a lot of the soundtrack. Poison is my favorite. Poison, that's arguable with some of these, now that season 2 is out, but Poison was my favorite for a very long time. I don't know if it's gonna end up being my favorite. I feel like it still is. But, again, another Angel song. I think it was really wonderfully done, so that has to be super high up there. I really like the psychology of things. As you know, I am a psychology major, and I'm a writer and stuff too, so I really like the deeper, darker stuff. Loser Baby's another one of my favorites. I'd probably put it under Stayed Gone, though. Just because I like the Al and Vox dynamic a little bit more than the Husk and Angel dynamic, even though I like them both a lot. Hell's Greatest Dad I liked. It's not one of my favorites, though. Probably right above Respectless. I feel like I listened to it a little bit more than Respectless. More than anything I like, but not to, like, sit there and listen to a whole lot. It's just a really sweet song, I guess. So maybe right below Happy Day in Hell. Just because I don't listen to it very much. Welcome to Heaven, I wasn't a fan of. Probably under No, honestly. I just didn't really like it. You Didn't Know was one of my favorites. It's a very emotional part. Should be favorites or top of liked this one. I'm gonna put it here for now, but I might bump it up to favorites depending on how many we get, because I know I like a lot of the Vox songs from season 2, and I listen to those more, so I feel like they're for now, but Out for Love I like more than Whatever It Takes, but it's another one of those songs that it's alright. Same with Ready for This. Probably still above Whatever It Takes, but I do think I like Out for Love a little bit more. Out for Love has a little bit more of like a catchy sound to it, whereas Ready for This is a little bit less something that I would want to listen to all the time, you know. More Than Anything Reprise, probably right down with It's Okay, again. Not a song that I disliked in the show, but also not one that I want to listen to, like, on repeat all the time. The Finale is probably somewhere around here, too. I'll put it at the top of It's Okay. I don't remember The Finale a whole lot, so I guess that kind of tells you what my opinion must be on it. The Season 1 recap song, I don't remember a whole lot of either. I do remember it being funny, so and it is with Al, who's one of my favorite villains in the show, so we'll put that one at the bottom of that tier. Hazbin Guarantee / Trust Us, I feel like needs to be divided for me to vote for it. Because if you asked me about Hazbin Guarantee, it'd go right there. If you asked me about the Trust Us part of the V's, it would go, like, up here somewhere. So together, I guess it should go towards, like, the middle of It's Okay. Right there, maybe. I think the Hazbin Guarantee part is a little bit boring. I like the parts where Charlie is singing really strongly, but like the chorus part where it's like, I'm chicken in, I don't like that part at all. So, and a lot of times I skip over the beginning to just get to the V's part, so I don't know where that one should go. Once we get up there is another one that's okay. Probably right there. It's fun, but it's not as strong as some of the other ones. I don't listen to it a whole lot. I listen to it sometimes, but not a whole lot. Like You probably goes at the top end of I Could Go Without. It's an interesting song. It has a lot of interesting visuals with it, but the song itself is a little boring for me. I'm not a big fan. I like the Heaven songs. Except for the evil Heaven songs. Sarah's Confession was really good. This is another one where I don't, like, listen to it a whole lot, but it's an extremely powerful song. I think maybe right below More Than Anything, I mean. Gravity I liked a lot more. Probably right above Respectless. I'm glad that they gave Lute this song, because it gave me something to like about Lute. Piss. Can't believe they named that song that. But probably right here. A lot of people really like this song. I'm not one of those people. I'm like, it was alright. I didn't hate watching it. But I'm not a big fan either. Speedrun to Redemption is the same thing. Probably right below Piss. Right below Piss is a crazy statement to make. Don't You Forget I think their dynamic was really cool in this song. I really like Rosie. Her vocals and everything were really good in this one. I'm gonna put it there. Some of these are getting muddled. So these might not be in, like, an exact perfect order of what ones I like the most, but I'm trying. Clean It Up is one of my favorites. I whenever I'm cleaning my room and stuff, I start thinking about it. I start singing the lyrics in my head and stuff. Don't You Forget Reprise is one of my favorites. It probably goes above Addict. It could go below Addict. Right now, I think it goes above Addict. Kind of goes back and forth with me. But I think right now, I like the Don't You Forget Reprise better. I love that one a lot. Bad with Us. I'm actually not a big fan of the chorus and stuff to Bad With Us, but I think the tone switches are really fun when you're singing. Like, going from the... How does it... I'm trying to think of how it goes. For example, when it's like... Ew, I don't want to sing it, but I feel like I have to, like, get the thing. When it's like, hey, prick and hatchet, that part, and then it switches to the maestro, that part. I really like that stuff, and I think the fucking cha-cha-cha scene is arguably one of the funniest moments in the show for me. I don't know why it hits me so hard, but it does. So I'm gonna put it at the top of It's Okay, because I don't actually love the song, but there's parts of it that I love. Which makes it hard, because, like, I want to say that I listen to it more, but it's mostly for just the parts that I like in it. Maybe it could go right here. Maybe I can boost it up a little bit. Vox Populi. Somewhere under liked this one. Probably right under You Didn't Know. I think this one's probably gonna end up getting boosted up, because we have so many under just that I liked it. Fox Day is one of my favorites. Has very different vibes from Stayed Gone, so I'm having a hard time deciding if it goes above or not. I think I'm gonna put it below, just because it's a shorter song, and it's not that, like, it's, like, a super catchy, like, I love this song. It's kind of like with You Didn't Know, where it's very powerful, and that's, like, the part that I enjoy about it. Love in the Bottle I liked. It's catchy, but it's not my favorite. It's not one of my favorites. I do like it, though. It's a nice, catchy song. Joseph really likes it. This is one of the one songs that Joseph actually enjoys. Losing Streak is one of my favorites again. But it probably goes to here. It's a really fun song to sing. Especially, like, going in between your chest voice and your high voice. It's a very difficult, like, heavy vocal control song, so I like that aspect of it a lot, too. Easy I like. Probably goes right above Love in a Bottle for me. I think I do have some bias towards the Season 2 songs as well while I'm doing this, just because I listen to them more. I feel like if I gave all of them a listen before stream, some of these might have been switched around a little bit. But nothing, like, too crazy. I don't think they would go to different categories or anything. Brighter is another one of my favorites. Probably right under Loser Baby. I really like that it gives a lot of backstory to Vox, who is a very interesting character to me. But I think song-wise, I do like the sound of Loser Baby a little more. Live to Live, I could go without, but it is going to be towards the top. There are parts of it that I like, but not too many. When I think about the future, it's probably another one that goes here. I really like the Lute and Abel part of when I think about the future, but that's about it. Probably goes right above this one. Maybe below. I'll put it below just because it's like right in the middle. Hear My Hope. I'm not a fan of Hear My Hope either. Hear My Hope. I understand why they went with it. And from a musical theater background, because I do have like an extensive musical theater background. I was in theater starting when I was 8, I think, and I started with musicals. I started with musicals and I ended with musicals. But it's just not great for a show, I don't think. The whole everyone coming together with friendship powers was a little bit meh to me. I get why they did it. Like, I can see why in the writing that they did it. But I personally wasn't a big fan of it. So I do like the song more, but I associate it heavily with that part of the finale that I didn't like very much. So it goes under I could go without. The Egg Boys Christmas covers are on here. They're terrible because they're the Egg Boys and they're supposed to be terrible. But I find them really funny. Would I listen to them again? No. Do I find them very amusing? Yes. We'll put them both at the bottom of these ones. They're terrible in a charming way. Now, Alistair's Reprise, I really don't remember this one. So I can't really place it. I love how the only one that is in No is Welcome to Heaven. I just find that song really annoying. I don't know why. It's really not, like, that much more annoying than the other ones, but to me it is. Really, why a bot gotta come in right at the end of my stream? Kicking you out. Get out of here. Never come back. Well, hold on. Once I get there. Once I find you. There we go. Anyway. That was it. I just had those 3 tier lists. I've been yapping for an hour and a half. That's crazy. I really do like talking about my interests. I should do this more. I feel like that was a good transition back into getting into streaming and stuff too. I don't know why I've been so weird about it lately. I think I felt more stressed about things, which doesn't really make sense because there's really not a whole lot going on that I have to be stressed about, but I've been feeling really stressed lately. And so at the end, like, by the end of the day after I've been feeling stressed, I'm just like, I don't wanna, I don't know, I really enjoy streaming still, like, when I'm doing it, but the getting up and having to, like, go into stream and put in the work is hard for me sometimes when I'm stressed out. So I hope you will be understanding of me. I am trying to get back on more of a schedule. I haven't written a schedule yet. I do have plans to stream tomorrow, and next week is going to be a little patchy again because it's spring break, so I won't have my PC, which means I won't be able to play, Baldur's Gate, I won't be able to play Identity 5, I won't be able to do any of the stuff that we normally do. I couldn't do a Sims stream, I couldn't do, like, anything with my PlayStation, I couldn't do anything with, I mean, technically I could do something with Steam games, but I don't really want to play them on my laptop. I feel like it just isn't a very good experience. So I know we might do some Roblox, if I can find good games. I'm still having a hard time finding good Roblox games, so if you would like to send me some, I think I might have found a couple, but, you know, Roblox games tend to be a little shorter, so if you have any that you like, please feel free to recommend them. I'm kind of desperate to try out new ones. And then, other than that, I had a thing written down where I had ideas of what we could do. Potentially something with art. We kind of just had an art stream though, so I don't know about that one. We'll probably have one on our other platform at some point, and that might be it for that week. We could potentially do, like, a kids game if one of the younger headmates are out, but that's kind of all we got on our on our laptop. Our laptop isn't a gaming laptop; it's like a worker. It's like built for working on it. We got it for college, so it's not a gaming laptop that can do big games and things like that. And we don't have, like, a mouse or anything with it, so it just makes it easier to do things that we're used to playing on there. So we'll see. I probably won't make an exact schedule for next week either, but I want to start getting back into regular scheduling once spring break is over for sure. I do have one thing that will be a surprise for you guys either the end of this week or next week, but I won't talk about that yet. I'll just let you live in the anticipation. It's nothing big. It's more big for me than for stream, but you guys will, like, be included in the new thing. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for either Animal Crossing or Baldur's Gate. It really just, I want to get a Baldur's Gate stream in before the big spring break, but I've also been really wanting to do the Animal Crossing one, but the Animal Crossing one also takes a lot more setup, so it'll probably end up being Baldur's Gate, but we'll see. If I have the time, I might do Animal Crossing and then see if we can sneak a Baldur's Gate in there on Friday or something like that. So, no promises on the schedule, but I do definitely plan on streaming tomorrow, as long as everything goes fine. And that's about it for me. So, thank you for listening to me yap. I'll see you then.